What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Today we got a cool looking watch. This is the GM6900B-4. Let's check it out. Let's go. Alright guys, thanks for joining me. Today we have a cool looking watch. This is a GM6900B-4. It's actually a little old. It was actually released back in February of 2020 and it retailed for $220. Here's the actual tag, GM6900B-4. Retailed for $220. Now this one here is pretty cool because it's one of the first of the metal forged G-Shock 6900s that were released. You probably seen them now. There's a lot of different forged metal G-Shocks out there. You have the GM2100s coming out, the GM6900, the GM, name it. There's all metal forged, metal bezel watches out there that are produced by G-Shock. But this is one of the first of the series that were actually introduced by G-Shock back in 2020. The dimensions of this watch are pretty large, I would say, compared to every other G-Shock or every other watch in the industry. This one is, the dimensions are 53.9 by 49.7 by 18.6 millimeters, which is actually quite a hefty watch and coming in at approximately 96 grams. Now, I don't know if you guys understand how large this watch actually is, but in terms of G-Shock, it's pretty standard to have large watches. But in the market itself, in the industry, this is quite a large watch coming in at 53.9 millimeters. This is a black forged metal bezel right on top, which is pretty cool because it kind of offsets the feel of the watch because you have this cool resin band on there. It's pretty nice. It's got a red translucent or transparent, I would say, whichever way you want to call it, resin band, which is pretty neat. It's got a beautiful red dial on there, which looks also to be transparent, but it's got a glossy look on there. You can see it's very high glossy watch. Very legible, I would say, in terms of how to read it, but you got to be good on the eyes because the black negative display does make it a little bit difficult for those who have a little bit difficulty time reading things very close. It's got the red metal light button there, and it also has stainless steel metal buttons on the side. Now this is cool because it's got the screws there on the side. These standard Felix screws were used in the past. This one doesn't use that. It uses a flat head. Looks kind of metal there and gives it a nice little extra luxurious look to the actual watch. All right, the band keeper is red. It's actually a full red band keeper. In the past, you would see that G-Shock actually use different kind of band keepers, like this one, for example. We had the hole there. This one does not have the hole, but it actually has a hole in the back, which is quite different. I don't know if it's intentional by G-Shock or why the introduction of this band keeper there with the hole on the back instead on the front. Did they mix it up and flipped it over by accident? I don't know. You have to ask them. Then you have the brushed metal or stainless steel buckle on the end there. Stainless steel metal back on the watch. You can see there it has the GM6900B 3230 module right there. This one is encased in Thailand or made in Thailand. Right? Pretty cool, neat little extra additional notes is that this one does have a quick release mechanism on the actual band keeper, which makes it very easy to swap out bands or to remove them in case you need to actually access the back plate to change the battery in the near future. All right, instead of having to unscrew things, you just flick that little mechanism of the lever there and free those bands and go ahead and get access to your actual back plate and change the battery. Now, personally, I don't see myself keeping this watch, so if you're interested, I'll leave the price that I'm selling it for in the description of this video, which includes shipping. Contact me with the email address that's listed on the description. But personally, I don't plan on keeping this watch, and I'll tell you why. For one, I have a lot of other watches I wear. For two, it's a little hefty, a little heavy on the weight for this watch. It feels a little heavy, which is good if you like that kind of thing. Personally, like in my industry, in my kind of line of work, I don't need that extra heft on my wrist on daily use. Also, it is a little bit difficult to read, like I said earlier. You can see there, it's got positive numbers and stuff, but the backplate is negative, and I work in mostly dark conditions, so it's a little bit hard to read that information, especially at night. All right, and then thirdly, it is a fingerprint magnet. It took me about 5 minutes to actually clean this to look semi presentable for this actual video. Now, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. The forged metal, it's gorgeous. It looks beautiful to see with the red actual fonts on the actual metal watch, but it's a fingerprint magnet. You touch it and it's everywhere, right? So my hands don't remain clean very often, so I can envision this watch being dirty all the time, and now I'm a freak. I don't know. I can't handle it. My OCD kicks in, and I don't want to see the watch dirty, so I would keep a microfiber cloth and clean it all the time, and I don't want to deal with it. But if that's your thing, if you like the metal look, and if you don't mind it getting dirty and having to clean it very often, then this might be the one for you. Well, there you guys have it, the GM6900, guys. This is part of the 3-watch series that was released back in February of 2020 and included this one here, this beautiful red color. There's also a silver color with black matte bands. And thirdly, there's a gold version, a gold metal forged bezel with black matte bands as well. And I'll put pictures on the screen for you. You can see all 3 of them. There you guys have it, the GM6900B-4. Till next time, this is Chicago. Holla at your boy. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.
My G-Shock, I'm rocking 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 my G-Shock.